This is a note from StarPath on displaying a pressure sensor reader in Expedition to illustrate an article about a brand new, very inexpensive USB barometer that can work in any of these navigation programs, and Expedition is a very popular one, so we'll illustrate that for now. And so let's start by I've got it in there, and I know the signals are there. I've checked it, but let's just check again. I'm clicking up here to this top menu. I go down to Instruments. Oh, in fact, I just double-click Instruments. This is on, the signals are on COM 8, which I've checked. This is called the Dracal, I don't know how to pronounce it, Dracal barometer. And that's all described in that article, 8N1. That's all correct. NEMA settings, and the sentences that we're looking at is in XDR. We're looking at a barometer. We also have coming in here MDA, but MDA is a outdated sentence, and it's not needed. Other programs like OpenCPN have some aspects where they need MDA because XDR is not working right, but this all works properly with XDR, so we don't need to bother about that. That's okay. We could actually look at the signals if we care to, and here they are coming in. Let me pause that, and you see here is this prefix YX is the standard NEMA prefix for transducer measurements, and here's an XDR, and then they put the whole name of the barometer, Baro 20N, out here. Often you'll see just the word Baro out here, but that's the way that looks. Those are perfectly good signals. We're ready to go on that. So, okay. Now, how do we see that? We know the instrument's taking it and actually storing the data. We would look at, say, a number box. Let me see, window. And I think I have this on number box. Yeah, number box 2. So there we see the pressure, 1013.48. And then I've made that yellow. Now, you can just wait. Everybody, I think Expedition uses these boxes, knows how to do it, but you can right-click there and you can change the color over here. Okay. So now the next thing is that in this, let's look now to the calibration. I know, for example, now I don't know if this, I've got the calibration in here. I don't know if it's on or off yet, but I know that this sensor on its own, it reads about 0.5, 0.4 millibars high. It's a very high quality sensor, but all of these sensors out of the box are, you have to assume plus or minus 1.5, and then use some more accurate source to set them. Generally, once you set them, they'll be pretty close over other pressures. Again, I refer to the article for some details. So I want to look up here to calibrations here. Calibrations. Oh, it's not on. There's no checkbox here. So I turn on barometer. Now you see something very sophisticated for Expedition. And to my knowledge, Expedition is the only program that lets you do this. You can actually, and I've typed this all in based on the calibration of the we did a calibration of this sensor ourselves here with our equipment at StarPath, and I know what these corrections are over the different pressures, and so I had made a list of them, and now I can go in there and actually do that. So look what that means. That means this at 1,000 millibars, this sensor reads too high by 0.4. But at a real high pressure, now that's higher than you're ever going to see in the ocean, but you'll see that on land for sure, and that's by like minus 0.3. And at the very low end, hopefully you don't see this on a hurricane in the ocean, that's a minus 0.5. But if you live in Denver, Colorado, you're going to see that all the time with the pressure. So you're going to need to know those corrections. And so here we put them in like that, and then if I turn them on, let's see, does that go straight down, or do I have to say okay? 0.4, then I go off, 0.4. I may have to say okay. So that's on there. Yeah, there it went down like that. So that's their reading that correction. I can illustrate that a different way in a minute. All right, so that's that. That's putting in the pressure, reading that. Then we want to look at the nice graph of the pressure so that we can look for trends. That would be under Applications, Strip Chart. Now I've already, look at that. That's where I put the calibration in right there. So so this is a strip chart, and then it's easy to set these up. This is over 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and so forth. Now the other thing to note about this, the bottom pressure, that's 1012 right here, and up here is 1014, and here's 1013. So this 1013 is accidentally halfway between these two, but this is not the halfway mark. You see, what this is, the live pressure. It's coincidentally halfway between these two. But keep in mind, this is what this scale is, this is what this scale is, and this is what the live pressure is. It may or may not be in the middle there. All right, so that's all that. It's working beautifully. The other thing I may just note back here, if you go calibrations, and then you go down here to load. See, there's borrow that I've got in there. And then you say load, you'll see something. Where are these stored? They're stored in Program Data Expedition Configuration. Okay, Program Data Expedition Configuration. So let me get out of here. Oh, my computer's hung up for a minute. Okay, let me get out of here. Go into here. And let's see, go to drive C, and then Program Data, Expedition, and Configuration, config. Now these are where these files are stored. Now if you open one of these, like here you see there's a borrow.txt, borrow0.txt, borrow2.txt. That's me all playing around to be sure I get the format right. And so you'll have to play with that, but here's where it's a lot. You could enter it here, or you could enter it right in the live calibration data. But what you want to do is when you enter that, save it. Then after you save it, open it and see that it's behaving the way you want it to. And if you need to tweak something, you can tweak it here. And that's just a note on that. So that all works beautifully. Again, Expedition has this unique ability to show the calibration, to put in not just one offset, but the full calibration curve.